Hey, what is going on, everybody, and welcome to the next video in this little series that I've been doing. As always, if you haven't seen the previous videos in the series, I'll go ahead and leave a link for those right there. I encourage you guys to go check them out. Now then, getting into this video, I'm going to be going over one of the best things that I take hunting with me and that I also use in my everyday life, and that is flashlights. I have used quite a few lights in my lifetime, both headlamps and flashlights, and about 4 years ago a buddy of mine introduced me to a brand called Fenix Lights, and since that time I've pretty much transitioned all of my lights that I use to Fenix Lights. I'm going to go ahead and get into the lights now. I'm going to start off with my headlamp that I use, and then I'm going to follow that with the standard handheld flashlight that you guys saw just a second ago. And as always, if you guys have any questions or comments about anything that I'm going over, make sure you leave a comment down below and I will be happy to answer any of those questions. Now then, the headlamp that I use is the Fenix HL60R. Let's get into the specs and also the dimensions of this flashlight, and then later I'll go outside and do a little comparison with a popular headlamp that you guys have probably seen floating around the market in the last couple years. First off, this light uses an XM-L2 T6 neutral white LED light that has a lifespan of 50,000 hours. It's powered by either one 18650 rechargeable battery or two CR123A batteries. The battery life for this light depends on which setting you use it on. For the turbo mode, it's going to be 950 lumens for 48 minutes. Then on the high setting, it's going to be 400 lumens for 3 hours. The mid setting is going to be 150 lumens for 10 hours. The low setting is 50 lumens for 29 hours. And the eco setting is 5 lumens for 100 hours. There's also a red light feature that is 1 lumen for 100 hours. The max viewing distance of the light is 116 meters. It's impact resistant up to 1 meter and water resistant up to 2 meters. The dimensions on the light are, it is 3.4 inches long by 1.8 inches wide and 2 inches tall. It weighs 4.3 ounces without the battery included in it. It's internally chargeable by a micro USB in the side. You can also remove the battery and charge it separate. When you buy this lamp, it comes with the lamp itself, the head strap and mount, a Fenix 18650 battery, the charging cable for it, a spare O-ring, and then your warranty card and information sheet. If you guys want to check these lights out, I will leave an affiliate link for Amazon below where you can find them. They run about $75.95. Next is my regular flashlight, which is a Fenix PD35. Since I've got this flashlight about 4 years ago, they've upgraded it. You can still get the older version. It runs a little bit cheaper than the newer version. The PD35 uses a Cree XM-L2 LED, and it also has a lifespan of 50,000 hours on it. It also can use an 18650 battery or, again, two CR123s. It is not rechargeable in the older ones. The newer ones you can get rechargeable, or you can buy a separate base plate for the rechargeable one you can put on this one. It uses a 2-button system, which I like. That way you're not operating the modes off of the same button. It has a tactical button on the back, which is your on-off, and then up here on the head it has your mode switch. It also has 6 modes. The turbo mode on this light is 960 lumens for 1 hour and 10 minutes. The high mode is 460 lumens for 3 hours and 15 minutes. The mid mode is 180 lumens for 10 hours. The low mode is 50 lumens for 38 hours. And the Eco mode is 14 lumens for 150 hours. It also has a strobe feature which runs off the 960 lumens. The max viewing distance on the PD35 is 208 meters. I don't have 208 meters in my backyard to show you, but when I go out there and shine it, you guys will get a pretty good idea how bright it is. It is not adjustable, it is just a flood. So that's one downside if you want an adjustable light. This one is not. It's impact resistant again up to 1 meter, which is really a joke. This thing has fallen way further than 3 feet, and I had my buddy that introduced me to these lights actually threw his up a stairwell or up a ladder and back down. That was probably about 25 feet up, and it clanked all the way down and came back down with no problems. So they are really strong lights. The depth on this for waterproof is also 2 meters. The dimensions on the PD35 is 5.5 inches long by 1 inch in diameter, and it weighs 3 ounces without the battery included. The price on the PD35 is going to run you right around $65 for the older version like mine. If you go to the newer version, which is 1,000 lumens instead of 960, they range from about $75 to $95 depending on where you get them and what accessories you get with them. You can also go to the Fenix store and check them out. They have some lights on there that go up to like 6,000 lumens, but they're like $300. I really love one, but I don't really want to spend $300 on a flashlight. Now I'm going to go outside here in a little bit and run you guys through each one of the settings on each one of the lights, starting with the headlamp, so you guys can get an idea of how bright they are. Now we're going to start out with the headlamp, and we're going to go from low to high on each of the lights. The first setting here, the camera isn't going to pick it up. The fence over here, once we get to the brighter settings, is right at 28 yards. For the eco setting is on right now. There's that, and we'll bump it up to the low. There's low, then the mid, there's the mid, the high, and then there's the turbo. So, and it has a pretty wide flood. It pretty much covers my entire backyard with the flood. And then there is the red light right there. We'll do those kind of looking into the camera and try not to blind it. There's low, mid, eco, low, mid, high, and turbo. This is the bow root light, whatever, I don't know how you say it. I'm sure you guys seen it. It shows up on Facebook and stuff all the time for me, but I always see people using these and claiming how bright they are. They're not that expensive. I think they're like 40 bucks or something, but they're cheaply made. And there's both of them on. There's the Fenix covered up, just the bow root, and then there's the Fenix. It is a different tone of light. I mean, that other light isn't that bad, but it's big, it's bulky, and I used it a couple times. It was just annoying walking around with it all the time. And here we'll go ahead and do the PD35, the handheld light, next. So here's the eco setting. Can't really see that at all. Low, still can't see it on the fence. The mid. There's the high. And then the turbo setting. Again, it lights up quite a bit of the backyard. You can kind of see the throw of it on the screen. My neighbors are probably wondering why I'm shining lights in my backyard. And then also your strobe.
do it in the lens here so you guys can see it. There's eco, low, mid, high, and the turbo.
Well, that's my little review here showing you my flashlights, the HL60R headlamp and the PD35 regular flashlight. Another thing I was going to mention about this headlamp is it is adjustable. And there's some pretty solid detents on there. And as always, if you guys like this video, make sure you hit that like button down there. Leave a comment. Again, if you have any questions on anything, I can always get to the comments down there. And if you could do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button, then go over and hit that little bell button you see right there. That way you get notifications when new videos are released. I think there will be one more video in this little series. And then hopefully the next video after that is me shooting birds, I hope. I don't know if it's going to be dove or teal right now. I'm definitely going to be doing both, but I just don't know if I'm going to get any footage of the dove. Anyways, thank you guys for sticking around and watching, and I will see you all on the next video.